Welcome to a very special episode of Tomkatsu. What you're about to see is going to be very serious, will involve Pookie, and has orbs on Megazords. I'm Marco Satsu, your host, and with me I have Thomas. You go first.
What? Hello everyone, I'm Thomas GGB and I'm here to talk about Pookie, I guess. That's what Marco said. Nothing else is happening.
And I'm Keza Henshin, and I'm being bullied already. And it's only episode 2!
I would never bully anyone, except Marcos.
It's been quite an interesting past couple of days, huh, guys?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
What else has been happening this week, guys? Not much, really.
No, not much.
No?
Yeah, there hasn't been much except for the whole reason we have all of this stuff here, including Thomas, who has all the Key Ranger stuff.
I don't have any Key Ranger merch. Oh, I could have gotten the Sentai gear. But...
This is the only thing I have, though, in my defense. This is the only Key Ranger
it's more than what I have.
The weirdest thing to me is that whenever I like a show, I always try to get one piece of merchandise, but I don't even like Key Ranger that much, and I still have more than like Hibiki and Amazon and all my favorite shows.
Can I ask you?
I even have the jacket, and
please count how many stuff you have that's Cure Ranger. Please count it for me. Guys, before we started recording this, he disappeared for several minutes looking for all his Cure Ranger stuff. And we went, where has he actually gone? Because he has disappeared for so long.
I'm counting this separate since I actually have a different one right here. So that's 1, 2, 3... I don't know if you want to count the whole Zord or like each of the toys.
I would count the whole Zord since it came together.
Yeah.
4. Can I count? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Can
and also the
count?
Key Ranger boxers. I have 2 pizzas of Amazon's merch, and that's my favorite Kamen Rider season. And I have more Key Ranger stuff.
Did you say you have 2 pizzas of Amazon merch? So, let's see. So we don't have much news this week because partly Cosmic Fury and also just not a lot happened. So we got magazine scans. So we've got to look at 2 upcoming Kamen Rider Gotchard forms that we have not seen before. This first one up is the Burning Gorilla form because he's using Gorilla Sensei, the card, and Burning Nero, the other card. And they create this funky looking form which uses the fists from Vulcan's gorilla form.
That's cool.
Kamen Rider 01.
Yeah.
So, and then the second form that we're getting is using Hawk's Star. So, shout out to Hawk.
Hawk nice Hawk.
And the Sabo Needle card. I don't really know those names. So those go together. This is also an animal plant. I just realized these are both animal plant combos. I don't know if that's relevant to anything. And I think this is called Hawk Needle. So this doesn't seem to reuse any parts. So
Hawk Needle.
Hawk Needle. They look really, really cool. I've seen some people say that they look really clunky. It just it looks way too big. But like for what it needs to do, I think it's fine. Like it's a gorilla, it's gonna have like the big strong arms.
Big fists, yeah.
The big fists.
There's something about Gorilla Sensei that's like a bit off to me. I don't know what it is though.
Is it the coloring? No.
Yeah, I don't know. Like part of it's like the colors. The shoulder pads are kind of weird.
Could it be that there's nothing on the bottom?
The form is. No, because that's
for me. That's like, it.
2 of the other forms are like that, so.
But maybe that's the issue.
I don't know.
Yes.
Not for me, at least. I don't really notice it. It
Thomas,
is for Marco.
Me and Marcos are agreeing for the first time in a while, so let's just take that as a win. Nah, I joke.
The hands are also a little off.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah,
like
I don't know. Like,
there's
a lot going on with it. Like, I don't know if we needed all the thrusters. They could have just repainted the Vulcan fist, and it would have been fine, probably.
Was it because it's like the fist is there? It's kind of like my jumper. I hate my mic at the moment.
Well,
so you know how
what was that?
That was my mic falling again. I'm sorry.
I know. I thought it was a horror movie.
It's the
Everyone keeps
ghost of
us.
Tomkatsu
They keep
past.
on saying this, guys. They keep on bullying my mic. It's just a bit weak and going. Woo. It happens during people's
It's
ages. But
scary.
so my jumper right here. It's meant to be like a puffy arm
Listen.
jumper. For those who can't see,
Mhm.
I'm so sorry. But like my jumper is like all around my hand, whereas they are like all up here. So it's like everything is on top of the limb. Everything is on top of the arm instead of around it. Maybe that's what it is. It's like it's all out of the body, going outwards instead of
Yeah, maybe.
surrounding the arm. So it just feels like it's a bit over cumbersome. I don't know. I'm
I
using the
don't
big
know.
words.
That
Does
being
it
said,
work?
I still like the form.
It's nice. I like the helmet.
How
It
dare
looks a
you?
bit off.
What? What?
What do you
This
mean?
this one I like a lot.
I hate you.
I like a
We had a whole
needle.
conversation about this only for Thomas to say, "Oh, I like it."
I said I like it. I just feel like there's something off about it. So that's it for Gotchard.
Okay.
He's getting these forms. For King-Ohger,
Gosh. Kingu.
this is happening.
Daigo.
So I believe the official context is that the King-Ohgers are being sent to normal Sentai Earth,
Oh.
and then they encounter Kyoryugers, or at least King Kyoryured. And then they fight some new remnant of the boss, which is a monster
Oh.
that combines all of their faces and stuff, and that's it. And then they're also gonna form the mecha.
Oh, we get to see the others again. Okay, that's kind of cool that we see all the dinosaurs. Like we
Yeah.
see we see
Mhm.
Daigo's dinosaur again. But the thing I'm
Yeah.
curious about is like his suit is so different. Like it's the Vamola. That's what it's called, right? The Vamola suit.
Carnival.
Carnival. Sorry, not yeah.
Carnival.
The carnival suit, but then it's got like the King-Ohger breastplate on there. Like if
And
it's
he's
them coming to Earth.
transforming with the sword. So we're going to him.
Oh.
The
No,
King-Ohgers
that's
are
what I'm saying.
going to-
King-Ohger's going back
Yeah.
to normal Earth, like our Earth,
Mhm.
in theory.
Yeah.
So why does he have the King-Ohger's suit, breastplate? That's my only query and
That is the
confusion.
question.
I do like the cape. The cape has actually grown on me with the King-Ohgers. So the fact that
Mhm.
Daigo now has a cape is kind of nice. It's just that breastplate. It doesn't work on any other suit for me.
Yeah, I feel like I actually
What?
like it a lot. I didn't think it would
Yeah,
look that
I
good,
like it
but
too.
now
You
that we've
know-
actually seen the suit,
You know what it could
it
be?
works pretty well.
You know
What?
what? Yeah, I have a theory. This is my theory time
Oh.
with Tessa Henshin. Yay! So,
A
I'm
Toku theory.
Toku theory, or like my whole channel. Anyway, the main suit that we see in the actual Kyoryuger show is at the bottom there of the magazine.
Mhm.
And I think he probably keeps his original form and then they give him a power up, and that's why he has the breastplate. That makes more sense. I just thought he had it and that was just what his suit was like, and I was just like, why? But if it is like an upgrade, like the Carnival suit, then that makes sense.
Yeah, that's probably what's happening. There's also, I think,
Mm-hmm.
a couple of rumors that it's his son.
No, wait. He does have a son
but-
though, and he doesn't have the suit. That's official. Like he already
Yeah.
has a son.
If he had a child right after Kyoryuger, the child would only be like 10. So
yeah.
that means there would have to be. That's also just a rumor. It's probably fake.
Oh,
so
okay,
you can
cool.
Just ignore that. I would
Hmm.
imagine it's Daigo himself.
It has to be. Come on, give me
because-
Daigo again, please. Give
Also,
him...
because if they're probably leading this into a 10th anniversary Kyoryuger thing, it would be weird to make it his son. And then the movie will have to probably incorporate the main 6 again.
They did have a
So-
movie where it was just like, I can't remember if it was supposed to be like 10 years later, but it wasn't 10 years later. It was like
Oh,
the team in the
100 years
future.
after.
100 years after, thank you.
It
But it was
was
just
a
like,
long time.
I couldn't remember how long it was. I was like, what was it again? But that actually had his like son or grandson
His grandson,
in it.
yeah.
So...
But like that was like a V cinema thing. So I mean, it kind of makes sense.
so-
For this is like
Okay.
this
yeah.
is the celebration, so I feel like it would be weird if you didn't include the main characters again.
Oh my god, let's
that's
just-
please give us a 10-year after. That'd be so fun.
Have you seen Kyoryuger, Tessa?
Yes.
Marcos?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
I was obsessed with it. and the fact that Dino Charge wasn't the
Of
same
course.
disappointed me so much. I was so shattered.
I much prefer Dino Charge over Kyryuger.
How? Why?
Name. That's because I haven't seen
Because
Kyryuger.
let's go. Oh well, Kyryuger was one Sentai I watched week to week, like live and with my friend, and it was such a great
Wow,
time.
you're
But we
old.
hated it.
Why?
I know.
Was it just the characters or just
I didn't like Daigo.
Oh, I love
King.
Daigo. He was very overpowered though. Like by the end of the show I was a bit like, "Oh god, he's overpowered. He's over saturated." So I do get what you mean. I just really liked Ian and
I liked when Talon Ranger appeared in Dino Charge.
I liked when Heckle became a ranger.
Oh.
I was really excited for him to become a ranger when I was watching Dino Charge.
Same. I think everyone was, and then he just didn't.
See, it was worse for me because I was younger, so I wasn't like in the news circles, so I wasn't aware it just wasn't happening. So I was just going off of the show, and I was like, Dark Energem, Dinosaurus. I know they have this Kyoryuger suit. I was aware of that, so it was like,
Where?
and it didn't happen. But
Give me.
maybe we should save that for Cosmic Fury.
Yeah.
Which is a fun segue.
It is a fun segue.
All right, that's it for news. We just have things and stuff.
That's it
Well,
for the news.
non-cosmic related news.
Ah.
Now, I assume we can jump into Cosmic Fury news, which is the other thing.
All right. So, I guess you could call this the Cosmic Fairy discussion. I asked our other friendos if they would be down to do it, and Laura was the only one who would be like down to do it.
I said I'm happy to do it.
And Keza, but you know, Keza, I always count you anyway.
Oh, okay.
And so like, and so I guess this is our Cosmic Fury discussion.
Yay!
Man, there was so much building up to this. Like, you guys have no idea whether you're in the circle or just like, oh, a new Power Ranger season on Netflix. Wow, it came out of nowhere. But then, meanwhile, I was having a war back here on Twitter with Pookie and the Pookie Patrol. But anyway,
down.
it's so crazy. Like, if you're in the know to this kind of stuff, everything's just like news after like bombshell after bombshell. And even when the show came out, there was still stuff to talk about. You know,
I thought it was like, done.
Yeah, right. Like, I think I forgot it was one of you. It might have even been Thomas who was like, now that Cosmic Fury is over, we don't have to think about it anymore. And then Pookie comes into Spaces and just gives us like tons of news and just.
I
don't know much about what was actually said in those spaces, so I'm going to be listening and taking all in as well, because I know some things, but I don't think I heard everything.
Thomas is the most news savvy out of all of us. I and Keza, you've been gone for a month, so you're like catching up with things, and me, I'm like in between. I just catch things as they appear on the timeline, and that's it. I don't really dig that deep. But once Hawk sent in that whole list, and thank you to Juki Collector for compiling everything that we're gonna talk about, most everything we're gonna talk about with Pookie and Spaces. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. But we also have a show to talk about. We have an actual TV show or Netflix show to talk about.
Unfortunately.
Yes. I'm going to go way, way, way back here. So during Paramorphicon 2020, I hate you, Thomas. 2022, I was there, of course, and a few other like content creators. Thomas was there. He was there in the flesh. We had a picture together. It was really cute. Keza wasn't there.
I wasn't part of the Toku. Excuse me? What did you just say?
And so when we were there, Thomas, do you remember? Do you remember the Pookie or that Simon Bennett had a video and it came out like around midnight or something, and it was meant to come out the next day.
They scheduled it for 11 p.m. the night before, as opposed to 11 a.m.
I've done that before.
Started.
Yeah, it's crazy. As a YouTuber, it just happens. But as like a big corporation like Hasbro trying to announce something big for Power Rangers, that's just a big old whoopsie right there.
A big old whoopsie.
So funny. I forgot that happened. It's funny. From the beginning, Cosmic Fury's been very interesting because the
Interesting.
name was leaked like 3 months earlier too. You remember?
Mhm.
We were aware of a Cosmic Fury name, but we didn't know what it was gonna be. I was one of the 5 people that was like, "It's a Dino Fury sequel." Everyone's like, "No, it's not." I'm
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
I don't remember what was revealed first. Maybe the logo was shown before the announcement, but something. But
it was the
we saw
same
the Dino
thing.
Fury logo. Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So the logo still had the Dino Fury like dinosaur on it, but with like space and all that. So
Ooh,
of course, it
cosmicness.
had to do something with it. The cosmicness.
Yep.
Did you guys like Dino Fury season 1 and 2?
no,
Oh my gosh, guys, come on.
Did you?
no.
Kinda. It
Oh,
was
come
okay.
on,
I,
Marcos. Oh, come on. No, I'm joking.
I'm not outright saying no. Like, there's a lot of stuff I liked about it. It was better than Ryu's Soldier, but that's not a high bar.
I
So
other
otherwise,
than
I
that,
I think that was the
other
thing
than
for
that last
me.
part, I
Sorry.
did enjoy parts of it, but overall, I'd say I did not like it. I'm more negative than positive with it.
See, I've
mm,
been struggling watching the Reiwa. Oh no, actually no. I was gonna say the Reiwa Sentai. I was been struggling to see, but no, that's lie. I just
Ryu Soldier is Heisei.
sorry. I'm sorry. I was just catching up. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, that's a good point. It wasn't Reiwa. It was like that last couple Heisei Sentai. I did not watch. I did not catch up with any of them, and Real Soldier was one of them. And I kind of looked at it and kind of was like, "Oh, that's kind of," but then never touched it because I wasn't interested. Um,
hmm
so when I saw that it was coming out as Dino Fury, sorry, I wasn't
Dino Charge.
interested. So I am probably the worst person to ask about Dino Fury. But I
Oh
did catch up on
man.
a couple episodes, and there were some interesting things I saw, but I never
Wait,
saw the whole thing.
oh, I was gonna ask. I haven't seen the whole thing. That's fine.
No, it's
Have
because I
you?
got
Did you
Oh my
see the
spoilers.
god.
last few
Yeah, yeah,
episodes,
yeah.
or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay?
The last couple episodes and what led to Zato and everything else that happens at the beginning of of Cosmic Fury. Obviously, so I know all the context for
hmm
that. So,
Okay, I've seen the whole thing.
but
Unfortunately, I'm kidding. Well,
why are you
not,
kidding if
but
it's good?
It's
Uh,
I don't mean to compare here. I'm gonna try to avoid comparisons for the Sentai. But Ryu Soldier, it's visually one of the best Sentais like out there, but everything else is just so boring. And it's one of 2 shows that put me to sleep, unironically. so
hmm.
that might tell you a lot about my thoughts on Ryu Soldier. And then when it came to Dino Fury, it at least did not put me to sleep, so that's already a positive for me.
I know Fury put me to sleep, but I was also watching it at like 2 a.m. So
And I think visually it's not keeping up with Ryu Soldier when it comes to its original footage, but I like a couple of the storylines. Like when it comes to the big plot lines, like the Tarek stuff and the Zeta stuff, I like those a lot. But when it comes to like everything else in between, like the day-to-day episodes and stories, you can just skip those.
Fair.
I don't even like the Tarek stuff that much. So
How dare you? He's like the best
like, not
character
even,
in that
not
show.
even. I mean, as a character, he's fine.
Daddy.
I won't hold that against you. The Max Russell Red debut, not even comparing it to the Sentai, because I made a tweet. I
Yeah.
was just like, I don't like this. And people are like, well, don't compare it to the Sentai. Put it on its own terms. I'm not comparing it to the Sentai. I still don't like it. Like it's boring. So some of it is like, oh, I really like Ryu Soldier, so it's like weird with that context of Ryu Soldier. But also on its own, sometimes I'm like, or most of the time it is just on its own. I'm like, this is weird, or I don't like this. So if you take
hmm
Resoldier out, I still don't really like Dino Fury. With Resoldier context, though, some of it does get better. Like the fact they gave so many other characters the different armors was really fun. Like in original
Hmm.
footage, like the Black Ranger at least they gave Javi the gold armor, the punchy armor, and the cape armor, all 3 of those he never used in Re-Soldier. So they shot original footage for him to put all 3 of those on in Dino Fury. And that's pretty cool. Just as a Re-Soldier fan, it's cool to see Re-Sol Black get to put on other suits. And then they do that with other characters too. Like Amelia never put on the fire armor, and she does it here. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Re-Sol Pink, so it's pretty cool.
I do wish I knew more of the context of Real Soldier, just so I had a little bit more context in that way. And I kind of wish I knew more of the Dino Fury show as well. However, I think you could kind of watch Cosmic Fury.
I know Cosmic
Still.
Fury.
Yeah, we all know Cosmic Fury now. We know way too much about Cosmic Fury right now. I wish I didn't know this much about Cosmic Fury, but here we are.
Yay.
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 We talk about Cosmic Fury then?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I guess we were a bit, and then we stopped.
I think we're all trying to avoid talking about it because it's just it's come with so much drama. It's come with so much controversy, and it's come with so much like hate.
All right, I'll start. I liked it.
I liked it more than I was expecting to. I actually okay.
I liked it too. I liked it, but I think overall it was okay. But compared to like Dino Fury, I liked it more, way more.
I liked it. Yeah, I liked it way more than Dino Fury, both seasons.
Can I say something that might get my butt kicked?
Yeah.
No.
The ending, I cried.
Oh, okay. That's
I
fine,
cried in like there's like 2 or 3 episodes throughout the whole show that I cried. But I'm a very emotional person. But there was just like mentions of things, and there was like little bit like nuggets of information put out or things said, and I was just like, I did tear
up.
up.
If you think we would ban you for having an emotional reaction?
No, but it's just like there are some people on Twitter who are very visceral about their reactions to it and their comments on it.
Don't worry about Twitter.
Yay!
Because in outer space, time to save the YouTube.
The YouTube
algorithm.
The YouTube.
So, do you guys remember that announcement video? Was pretty much just Simon Bennett on screen. He's like, "Yep, season 3's coming."
Yeah.
And then they played the last 10 seconds of the intro, or sorry, like 5 seconds, because 10 seconds is a third of the intro.
Oh my gosh, and then we got a little bit more news sprinkled after that, and I don't remember. I think he's the one who said it. Who was like, "It's just gonna be Q-Ranger mecha footage. Everything else is gonna be original."
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that.
Twitter was not good that day.
Yeah, I remember being very against that because I was just like, this is something I've mentioned in multiple videos of mine. They were like, and now that we've watched the footage as well, it's like they so wanted to go away from Sentai original footage and the Sentai suits. They were like a child running from home, being like, "We're not going to use your money. We're not going to use any of your shit anymore." Running off, run. And then they come back and go, "Hey, can I borrow some money? Hey, can I borrow the Sentai original footage? Hey, can I borrow some of your original villains?" And oh god, the treatment of the villains in this show is ridiculous, but we'll talk about that later.
Yep.
But they keep on coming back and wanting to steal a bit more and come back to Sentai, but then they're like, "Oh, but we're not with Sentai anymore." So it just infuriates me, especially with the suits.
Outside discussion has kind of put me off to it, but I actually was pretty excited when they said they were filming all original ground footage, just because I wanted to see what they were cooking. Like at least after seeing Dino Fury, the Sentai doesn't hold Power Rangers back, but there's a lot of moments where I'm like you guys just wanted to use this footage. It doesn't really work in this context. So I wanted to see what would happen if they just were like, they filmed their own thing without randomly every so often we're like, let's bring in Sentai footage that does not fit at all. So, and then they were keeping the Megazord fight too, so it was still like I thought that was still like interesting. Like they were still keeping Sentai roots, because the Megazord fights, most of them are just fight the monsters, sell toys. Like there isn't really much nuance to those. So I thought it's fine if they keep that, because they, that's usually just the same thing fighting a monster and beating it. So they can keep that kind of context, and then they can write everything else around that. So I was pretty excited to see that. Unfortunately, suits were not. Yeah.
Oh man.
I agree with what you said about seeing the original footage. I was excited to see what they could do because, as you said, Sentai has been something that's kept them going this whole time. But seeing them learn from their past 30 years of seeing how they make it, it'd be interesting to see what they were able to learn from that. That's what I was excited about. But then I just, with it being in Netflix as well, that's a whole other discussion for another time. The fact that Netflix
Yeah.
now got their meaty claws in there as well. That's something I'm scared of
Well,
personally.
apparently it wasn't on Netflix, Keza, but
No,
we'll
but the fact
probably
that
get
it's
into
now
that.
on Netflix, like
Oh,
going forwards, like
well,
Netflix
not
does
going
things to shows. It sexualizes them. It makes them a lot more
Oh, I see, yeah.
mature.
Well,
It.
Netflix isn't making it,
Oh yeah, that's true.
so
Okay.
because it's Hasbro. Netflix is just uploading it.
I guess I could see
basically,
them
so-
eventually getting involved, though. I could see them getting
They did a
involved.
little bit. Like, they have like, of course, like, well, you could be on our platform if you do this, if you want, maybe, I don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just seeing that they're going to get more and more involved because it's specifically on their platform now. So
Well, it is on their platform, but now there's no more Power Rangers season, so it's fine.
until they reset the
The
whole
end
thing.
of
You
the
don't have
Power
to worry,
Rangers.
Keza.
The end of
End
the
of the
Power
Power
Rangers.
Rangers Part 2 is
Do you think it's
finally
going to come
upon.
back? That's a question. Do you guys think it's
No,
going to come back at all?
maybe.
No. Do you think it's end?
I mean, they're cooking the reboot. Ever happened? That they've also been doing that for like 5 years. So.
Oh. So you probably don't think it's coming back.
That's
Interesting.
So Cosmic Fury. Okay, so gosh, we have so much leading up to the show itself, and it just came out. And then we even had Once and Always like before that, and there was even more discussion about that.
Billy is everywhere these
Oh
days.
man.
Billy is
Yeah,
everywhere.
Yeah.
It's
He
nice
didn't need
'cause
to be, but
he
yeah.
left the original show, so now he likes the show again.
It's because they're treating him right this time. Like
Yeah.
in the original
Mhm.
show, he was being abused for being gay. Like that was something that was like absolutely not.
And now, two of the Rangers are gay.
Yay!
Yeah.
God.
Woo, gay people.
Literally.
Oh, where's my gay flag?
Yeah, where is your gay flag?
Just have that on hand.
Yes.
Yeah, it's usually like like on my chair, but I don't know where it is now.
Because what does this mean if
No,
your
I still have it.
gay flag
He's
is
lost
gone?
it. He's not gay anymore. No. He's not bi anymore. He's not a supporter anymore. What is it?
So, yeah.
Speaking of toys and Cosmic Fury,
What toy?
Yeah.
where are the toys? Where are they?
That's really funny because
Oh my god, yeah.
so
What?
the reason the suits look the way they do, they didn't use Q Rangers because they wanted suits that would be easier to make as toys.
But where are they?
Only for them to not make any toys for the Cosmic. Well, apparently, like 3 basic figures are on the way. But again, it's only 3. There are 7 Rangers, and I think one of them is just Evil Ollie or something. I don't know.
No,
So
that's
it's like
weird.
you guys. I don't know. It's like really fascinating that like the season was so last minute that I guess they didn't have time to make any toys. But at the same time, they were like,
What?
"We want you to do this so we can sell toys." No.
That sounds counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, don't forget it's a toy company, so it's like if anyone knows what toys they're making,
That's
it would be
that's such a good point.
them.
They're flipping Hasbro. How has this not happened well?
It's just weird because this doesn't happen with like Transformers or something.
No.
Like they have like 20 million Rise of the Beast toys before the movie's out.
Hmm.
For
There's-
this,
There is a documentary on Netflix called The Toys That Made Us or something like that, which is like a documentary for the viewers at home. It's a documentary on how the toys from our childhood were made, for like all the history of like the behind the scenes. And there's a clip of Haim Saban in his office, and he's just like, and then I gave it to Hasbro. They all know what to do. They're very good with toys. Here we are, Cosmic Fury, no flipping toys. Where the heck did they go? Haim Saban, you were wrong.
Thank you, Haim Saban.
I have seen the Morpher at my Walmart, but I've also seen it at Target, my local Target. But like, man, it's just a rectangle, you know? It's just a rectangle.
I saw that Target the other day. It was weirder watching it in the show too, because they have gimmicks. They didn't do anything with that in the toy.
Oh my gosh, I hate it that you can't take out the orb. It's stuck in there.
Wait, you can't
Like,
take it
at least
out?
yeah, if you could take. No, it's
Yeah, but
just
then
like
you can't do the flick and then the
circle
thing
in
and then the.
Exactly.
I don't know why that sound came out of me. But that was like, okay, can we just talk about that aspect of the show, the transformations? I'm not talking about the visuals of how they got transformed, but the flick into the wrist and the pull across. Every single time the little flick of the flick of the jewel, I was like, yes.
I was kind of into that as well. I thought it was like, it took me off guard because I was like, what the heck? It's kind of weird, but
it was so slick though. Like, for some reason I saw it and I was just like, yes. Also, how sassy Emilia Henshin every single time. It was like a little hip flick every single time.
I went back to like see if anyone else did that. No one else does that. It's just her. She's like,
yeah, literally, it's always like a ha. To be honest, I'm kind of like, yeah, sure, go for it. I love it. But the flick, that flick is the thing that made me go, yes, I enjoy this henshin. I like how we call it a henshin, not
actually,
transformation.
It's a morph.
Sorry, a morph. A morph.
I say it's morphin time.
It's a morphin time. Oh my god. The amount of times that is said is morphin time, and most of the time it comes from Billy. Have you noticed that?
He's Billy.
He's Billy. So
who else is gonna say it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Billy.
Also, I also like they reuse the once and always.
Your voice went really low.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Now that took me back a second.
Fun of me?
Oh my god.
Well, aside from the Morpher, which is really stinky, and it's $30 whole, by the way. 33 actually plus tax.
33?
There's the other big toy was the Mecha. So this is the Q Ranger version, the superior version, but the Power Rangers one, it's a lot smaller, and the orbs aren't like see through like these are. There's no lights, there's no sounds. Yeah, this one has sounds. There's less paint. The toys don't have as much functionality, I think. Like, I think you can't even move some of the parts here like you can here.
They can do the arm swaps at least.
Yeah, but like if they didn't do that, then I would be going to Hasbro myself with the pitchfork and be like, why can't you do this simple thing?
See, it's nice that this podcast has like connections to both the US and the UK, because we have no toys. I think that we have like one or two suppliers who do supply toys here, but it's so expensive because of the transition and then the postage. So I have had no chance to have a look at the toys or the Mega or the Zord. So thank you for doing us a service.
It's for the best.
You have the show, but you don't have the toys?
No, this is the only toy. This is the only toy I have.
Died.
He died. Yeah,
Killed
from watching
Lucky.
Cosmic Fury.
That's why they replaced him with Emilia.
Oh damn. But yeah, this is the only toy I have, and I got it because I was in jungle. Went to jungle in California, and that was the only time I got it. There's actually can I tell the story about this, because it really infuriates me. We're talking about toys, so can I please talk about the toy story? I'm going to talk about the toy story. So I went to California for VidCon, I think 2 years ago, like 2 VidCons ago. But we also went to Anime Expo at the same time, because it was like a weekend later. I didn't realize that you guys were in the same area as me. So, well, to be honest, at the same time, just started my channel, and I think Hawk had followed me. So it was like very basic, like very minimal traction I had as a tokutuber at that point. But I still went. We went to jungle in Little Tokyo. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
saw a Fours toy, and I saw this toy, and I was just like, do I get one of my favorite Kamen Rider figures, or do I get this? And I said this to Daryl, and I said to Daryl, which one do I get? And he was like, well, which one do you want? And I was like,
Both.
I want Fours. I couldn't afford both, but I was like, I want Fours because I love Fours, but this could be good for a video because I know that I know that the next Sentai is coming out as his Power Ranger show. This was before it even got announced. And I went, oh, but if I have this is a good prediction video. And Daryl was just like, I mean, do what's best, but if you want something for content, do it for content. And I said, okay, I'm going to do it for content. Got this one, came back. Couple months later, Cosmic Fury was announced. And I went, and threw it. And here we are, years later, reaping what I sowed. Should have just gone for
Have you
Fours.
seen Q-Ranger?
No, that's the thing.
So sad.
That's my story anyway. So I have a vendetta against Cosmic Fury for the toys element. But we move. That's my Toy Story.
Where are we moving?
I don't know.
The UK.
Yay! Do! I need more friends.
For me, I'm a big advocate of having Sentai adapted, like Gotchard and Lupad and Tokuger, if only because of the toy aspects. Like, you can finally have more collectible versions of these toys. Sure, they'll be lower quality, but at least you'll have something from them.
Mhm.
And then here, when we have Cosmic Fury, the only like Q Ranger thing we get is like the Zord, and that's it.
Also, another thing too is they make figures over here of Sentai suits, which they don't in Japan, unless it's a
Yeah,
figure.
like the
Or I guess they do. They do Yudo now, but they only started that with Kira Major. Yeah, and now that this doesn't, I mean, partly because they didn't even adapt those suits, but also if you like the Cosmic Fury suits, there's nothing there for you. Like, I mean, there's the 3 figures, but there's 7 members of that team.
Yeah.
So
I wonder which colors they're going to do first then in the first 3.
I know they wanted these suits to be simple to sell toys, but it'd be also pretty nice if Hasbro, the toy company, put these as Lightning Collection figures alongside their release. But even that's going on hiatus. So,
Oh,
yeah,
I
Lightning
forgot
Collection's
about
done.
that.
So should we talk about the show itself?
Yeah, I was waiting.
I forgot we had a show to talk about.
There's actually a show that goes along
There's
with
a
all of
full-on
this.
show, Marcos.
You did briefly touch on it, but so you both said you liked it, right?
You also said you liked it.
I also said I liked it. Yes,
You also said you liked it.
Okay. The show in general, I think it was a lot better than what I was expecting, but there was things that it could have done better. But if we just slide those to the side and just think about what the show actually gave to us, it might be easier to go through this conversation, I guess. We're so scared to talk about the show.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Talk about it.
Marcos, what do you want to talk about first then? There's so
Okay,
much to talk about.
So starting off with the show, the actual show that we're
Yes.
talking about here. The
Yes.
show, the Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, the sequel to Dino Fury, season 3 of Dino Fury, Power Rangers Cosmic Fury.
You haven't watched, have you?
Dino
Said he
Fury.
watched
I'm on episode. Yeah, I'm on episode 8 right now. Actually, I was watching this whole time.
Oh, okay.
That's where the show drops off. So the first 7 are like really awesome to me. I mean, they have their issues and stuff, but like, I don't know, it was really fun like going through that because like I love. It actually feels like we're in trouble. Like they're literally trapped on another planet. Zed is taking over Earth.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have their Zords. They don't have their powers, so they have to like get the Cosmic Zords. They get new powers, but like Avi still loses his arm, and Ollie is still evil. So it's like we get stakes and we get some wins, but there's still like overall losses, and we have to go and take back Earth. And they do it in episode 7. So the last 3 episodes are kind of like...
Now what?
Yeah, like after that was like... I mean, Zed still has the Morphin Masters, I guess. So it's like, obviously the show can't really end there, but it's like... intriguing part was like Zed has taken over Earth and most of the universe, so we have to go stop him. Now we stopped him, and they haven't really communicated the stakes of him with the Morphin Masters, so it's just like they have to set up a new threat in the entire like 8th episode, and then make that the last 2 episodes. It's just kind of weird. I feel like they should have just kept the Earth siege like, until episode 9 or something, and then episode 10 is fighting Master Zed or something. I feel like part of it is also the fact they set up his base on Eltar, which is fun because Zordon, and we've never been to Eltar actually. But also, we're not actually really on Eltar. Like, they just say we're on Eltar. They could have said Zed set up his base in New Zealand. It would have had the same impact.
Yeah.
I feel like obviously he has a connection to Zordon, but if he's like, I hate Power Rangers, so I'm gonna chill on Earth.
That would make more sense.
Yeah,
but I think it's that element of like he is so prideful that he is like, I'm the one that's still alive, and I'm gonna take over Zordon's home planet for the hell of it, because hell yeah. And I guess that's the main reason why he hit of his downfall as well.
He ends up in a tube like Zordon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whoa.
To be honest, I had a prediction before we started watching the show, which was like they would go to different planets, and that they would fill up the spaces of the Cure Ranger spaces that there were left over, if that makes sense. Which I was really excited about. So when they, as you said, when they go to these different planets and they go and see all these different things, I was just like, oh, that's what I wanted. It was scratching that itch. And then it just stopped the exploration, and I was just like, oh, I wanted to see like going to different planets and seeing all these different aliens.
To be fair, that's what Key Ranger did. So
I think that's what I wanted, really.
They were just staying. No, Key Ranger also stops the exploration.
Oh, no!
That's what I said. So they were just sticking to the source footage. I wrote down. I was writing notes, and my immediate thought when episode 2 started was when they go back from Zordinia to Earth, and I was like, keeping in line with Key Ranger footage, we immediately just go back to Earth after space stuff, but then they go back, so it's fine. But I thought it was funny. I was like, oh, they're really, this is a pretty faithful Q Ranger adaptation, guys. They're not in space as long as you think they are, but also they are.
Oh my god.
So,
we want to go away from the Sentai, but we want the Zords, we want the footage, and we also want the villains, and we also want the plot. Anyway.
Speaking of the Zords, what did you guys think of the handling of the Zords and the Cosmic Fury powers?
There was a comment I said before we started recording, and I was like, it feels weird because the suits and the swords don't match. And in Sentai shows, they are so faithful to the theme. It's in the suits, it's in the helmets, it's in the weapons, it's in the Zords, it's in the plot, it's in the people. It's just like so integral to what it is. But with Power Rangers, because they do have to do that translating it to America, they do shove in other things, and it just felt weird that the suits were not the same as the Zords. But I think that's just because I'm so used to Sentai. But
no, I agree, but also it's because the show doesn't make them connect, but that's also weird. Like, it's like literally the timeline of events is they come into Cosmic Fury without Zords. They get the Cosmic Fury Zords, so now they have Zords. Then they lose their powers, and Billy gives them new powers by just like jerry-rigging their Cosmic or Dino Fury powers into the Morphin grid, which explains why they're still dinosaurs, and I guess also explains why the suits look the way they do, because they're like bootleg versions, I guess.
Yeah.
But
there's a story reason why they look bad.
Not really. I mean, but it's just weird. The Zords don't impact the suits at all.
That's so true. Like the Zords are on their own.
Like it's
separate thing.
It's not even the design aspect you were saying. Like they don't do that in the show. They have nothing to do with it. And that's just so weird. Like, I feel like the logical thing would have been, I mean, at least have some dialogue where Billy's like, I was able to use your Cosmic Fury Zords as a new conduit to the Morphin Grid. They're just Zords. They're just like ships. Like, they're established like the special Cosmic Fury Zords. And then they just
Yeah.
end up being spaceships they can use. And even like they set up the thing with Zed has the Zord barrier around Earth. And I thought it would be like, oh, we have the ancient Cosmic Fury Zords. It won't be affected. No, they do. Zed's force field still affects them. So what's even the point? Like, there's not really like a special purpose to the Cosmic Fury Zords other than Q Ranger footage and
They're just
selling the
there.
one toy.
That's
Yeah, like
such a
it's
good
really
point.
they're not really they're told in dialogue. They're like super powerful, but nothing they do
Is
is ever
super
exciting, and they don't grant new powers. So it's just like, what's
Yeah.
the point with this?
I have a thought about why Zords in Sentai do so well. It's because they're allowed to be self-aware. They're allowed to be um their own characters. For example, in Go-Onja, they interact with you. They are constantly by your side. They help with the plot. They push the plot. They also cause interactions and arguments between characters, which helps with character development. In Power Rangers, they don't do that because it's deemed childish and it's deemed like anime because what was it? RPM comments on it. They're like they're asking
Yeah.
questions about oh my god, this scene always comes up. They always ask. They are asking about the Zords because they're asking loads of questions. And Ziggy, is there Ziggy, the Green Ranger, is like, why are there anime eyes on the cars? And they're like, oh, it's just to look pretty. But then it takes all those characters away. But the same with this, like they don't interact with the Zords. The Zords
Well,
appear when
to
they
be fair,
call upon them, and then that's
in
it.
Q Ranger, there were also just robot spaceships.
But this is a comment I have for
But-
like all the Zords that are like that, though. So
Oh, okay, that's fair. But like, I guess I don't like comparing to Sentai all the time. But
yeah,
like,
sorry, I've been doing that a
in
lot.
Q
Sorry.
Ranger, no, I'm just saying it for what I'm about to say.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't in Q Ranger at least like they summon the Zords like from themselves. Like they did a thing on the Morpher, and then the Zord forms around them. So it's like there's that connection to the Zord. Where here, like you said, they're just summon the Zords and they show up. There's not a connection to the suits. I just think that's really, really odd. Like it's confusing because it feels like that just makes it so obvious. Like that's just like the 101 thing. Like they lose their powers, they have new Zords, the new Zords give them powers. No, they don't. They're just there.
Yeah.
Well, I think if it doesn't connect like lore wise, it connects thematically in terms of just visuals. And when Cosmic Fury tries pretty much everything Thomas said, when they try to say these Zords are super special, awesome poggers, and they've never been seen before, and there's rumors that they don't even exist, and then
Here they are.
then nothing happens other than
Yeah.
fight footage, then I don't know. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel
Like-
right. But that also connects to a lot of things I have in mind, such as they do a lot of things and then they bring up a lot of things and then like do nothing with them is like my main issue, especially the suits. I hate the suits. But I think
Actually,
that's for a little
one last
later.
thing I want to say about the Zords too that just adds onto this is like just pilot any Zord ever.
Oh yeah.
Which
they're
I kind of-
remote piloted.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
I think that's
semi-automated?
kind of a fun concept.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know. Like I kind of like that. Like Ion will just pilot yellow, and sometimes he's piloting orange, and I kind of like that they swap around, but that just adds to like the genericness of them as
Yeah.
Zords, because like it's always like you're the Red Ranger, you get to summon your Red T-Rex Zord, and that's the one you ride in until you combine in the Megazord. But in this, it's just jump in whichever one you'd like. It's up to you. It's personal preference. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
what color you are.
Mechanic
So
Mechanic literally takes the pink Zord.
He takes
Yeah.
things
to their own
yeah,
planet.
like he just it's kind of weird.
I think that's what I like. That's what I mentioned before. I like knowing the temperament of these Zords and learning more about them, of what they do. But there's so many
hmm
Zords, I have no idea what they did, or what their name was, or like
Yeah.
what their weapon was. They just
Oh,
stood
right.
there. They're like,
But I didn't even realize they don't
They're
even
all
have
just
names.
yeah, they're all just
but like,
Cosmic Fury Zords or like Cosmic Dragon Zord. Other than that, like
I think
and like also too like all the combos are just Cosmic Fury Megazord. Like they don't have unique names for the formations, which I also still think is kind of fascinating. Like it's just all the same, doesn't matter who's attached because they're all just spaceships. But
mix and match.
again, it takes away from the uniqueness. Like in Q Ranger they're all Q Reno, but they had like Q Reno 1357 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I think the closest we got to getting to know a Zord was literally episode 5 when they were at the mining
Dragon.
episode.
Oh, the
They
dragon
were the
one?
dragon.
Dragon
Because then you
Zord.
saw it move, you saw it holding onto its little orb, and you saw it do things, and you saw its eye. It was like that. That was the closest that they'd ever got to touching a Zord
Oh,
properly,
right.
and like being like aware of it and around it, other than just appearing from the sky. If that makes sense. So, anyway,
A lot of things that you guys are bringing up uh, really cements my thoughts on how much more care and thought is put into Super Sentai. I know they had 2 months to film this and probably the same amount of time to write this. Maybe they were writing as they went every single day, but there's just so much thought and care put into Sentai when they don't have that much time to put things together either. Just a
Yeah.
simple just like a simple combination name is enough to be like, oh wow, they spent like 5 seconds to think of it, or even just like actually I think that's where my thought ends. Yeah,
Oh.
they just put enough care into it to put like simple numbers in front of the name, and they're like, there's a whole different thing. And the main thing that was going through my mind was like, I remember that like Kiryuzen Western was a really cool combination with a really cool name, and I actually wanted to buy that toy when it came out in Kiryuger. And then here it's like, well, you get the one mecha, and that's it.
Even in Dino Charge, they say like Dino Charge Megazord or a Stego formation or Packy something formation.
Yeah.
They have the announcer. Here it's just
Go.
Cosmic Fury Megazord. Not even Cosmic Fury Megazord, Snakes, Tiger,
Yeah.
Dog formation.
But
There's no tigers or
Pog
frogs.
formation? Oh, Pog.
But this is what I was saying about. There's like a couple tweets from Simon Bennett. I'm going to mention him. We haven't really mentioned him yet, but there's a couple of tweets
Pookie.
from Simon Bennett, or Pookie, if you know him on Twitter, and it just really shows that they're. Well, one of the tweets was like literally like, "Oh, I do not enjoy Sentai or Power Rangers, but I enjoyed my time
Can't
working
blame
on
them.
it." That's the tweet. And there's another one which was just like, "Oh, when I first looked at Super Sentai footage, the whole room laughed." And it wasn't like, "Oh, we enjoyed the humor." It was like we laughed at it because it was so silly. And it was just like those two tweets are like stuck in my head now when I think about Cosmic Fury, and I'm just like, you could have
Just
really delved
Bash in
in.
front of Keza. She's like, no, stop.
No, stop. But like, it just really proves to me that there was like so much that he could have given. He could have delved in more. He could have really put that effort in, and he didn't. And it goes with the Zords, it goes with the naming of it, it goes with those extra details. There's just those little bits and bobs that could have really made it more special. And they were more concentrating on bringing Zordon's legacy back.
I think that's my main issue with Cosmic Fury. Like, it's fine, but like the one thing that sticks out in my mind is like they have all these like throwbacks and like name drops and like all these like fan servicey bits. Like, I loved Heckle so much. I love that he's a ranger, but then it's like it all doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day. Like he says in like literally like 2 lines, "Oh, I had a redemption arc off screen.
Yeah, literally.
And now I'm the good Dark Ranger." And I'm like, okay, well, would be very cool to see that on screen. Like, so it comes off as really empty and it doesn't really mean anything. Sure, he's a ranger now. That's cool. I've always wanted that, but would have been cooler if that was in his own show that he's from, or a special, and not in the non-canon and not in the comics that are completely separate universes from this. The comics don't matter in this context. Well,
Yeah,
they do
said
matter,
that,
but they
said
don't.
they weren't taking the comic like backstory at all. So you're right. It actually does not matter in this backstory at all.
I wanted to be
He
nice,
doesn't even.
Thomas. I'm being nice.
Was it weird for you to see Billy amongst the Cosmic Fury team as well? Like it was just felt
No.
so disconnected with Billy there and the Cosmic Fury there, and then also Heckle there as the Dark Ranger. Like there was some
I thought
moments
that
where I
was
was just
fun.
like, this feels so juxtaposed. Like it just felt.
There's that one lineup in episode 1
Yeah, literally.
where
That's
Red
what I'm
Ranger
thinking of.
Zato is gone and Blue Ranger Ollie is gone, and they get replaced by Billy and Mick. I thought that was fun. I was
Mhm.
like,
It's
oh,
fun,
okay,
but it
with 3
felt.
soldier suits.
Mhm.
Like, that's the kind of stuff that I like when Power Rangers does, when they're like, we have all this extra like Sentai context that we can just take from. Let's do it. Let's throw in Jew Ranger, throw in a Ninja Steel.
Oh gosh.
I want to point out that as much as I complain, I still think there are fun concepts. Like you said, seeing that lineup, it really makes no sense, especially when they're like, wow, aren't you Billy Cranston, Blue Ranger? What are the odds
Yeah,
on this
literally.
random planet? Yeah, but still, like, even though that's kind of weird,
Well, no, Mark. The end of Once and Always, he was going to space.
it's still fun. It is still a neat thing to see. I still like enjoyed it as an idea. Same thing with the Dark Ranger. Even though I would have preferred more, it is still cool to see him on screen, and I do want to cosplay him now because he is that poggers and I want him. But also, it's
How?
just a lot of fun despite all the complaints. Yes. Yes.
Nothing. I have
Me
no
Me
comment.
and Thomas reacted at the same time. You can just see us both going, Baka.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it's weird. I guess the Heckle Cosmic Fury or Heckle Dark Ranger, the fan service nostalgia that got me. Because I have nostalgia for Dino Charge. As I said, I wanted Dark Ranger in the season, so getting to finally see that, and also too, like he uses the boomerang to transform. He doesn't
I
do
like
in any
that.
other iteration, so I was like, that's pretty cool. He doesn't really do anything. He's like not really relevant because that plan fails. So he's not even like important in the
Oh, he
plot.
does,
He's just
yeah.
there for the fan service. So it's like on one hand it's like
Mhm.
it's kind of whatever, but also it's like it's 30th anniversary. Like that's 30th anniversary stuff. Like that what 30th anniversary would do,
Yeah.
just like fan service for the sake of fan service. It's not like I mean it's mid fan service, but it's not like bad. It's like you get to see Dark Ranger. He doesn't do much, but he's there if you wanted to see him. People just wanted to see him in Dino Charge, so now he's finally here. I think that fits quota.
This might be too specific. I'm sure you guys will understand the reference, but this might be too specific. The one thing that was going through my mind during the entire fan servicey parts was when Chewbacca finally got his medal at the end of the Rise of Skywalker. You know, it's like if you're in the know, it's cool in the moment. But if you don't know, and if you just not, and even if you're just like a new watcher to this, you're like, oh, he got a medal. Cool.
Yay.
Same thing here. Like if you're in the know, Heckle being a ranger, wow, that's awesome. But if you're not, you're like, who is this? It's cool,
What's
but I
happening?
don't get it.
But
Like
on the other
what
hand,
is
Like
you
how
get to
many
see another
shows?
Power Ranger.
How many
so-
shows is he like back? Is he from?
Dino Charge. So that would be oh god, like
How
6
many years
shows
ago?
ago.
Is that really
So it
6
would've
shows
been
ago?
Ninja Steel, Beast
Super Ninja
Morphers,
Steel. Yeah,
now Dino Fury. So
that's such a
Oh
like.
my
you just made
gosh.
me feel old. I didn't
But,
realize Dino
but that's
Charge
that's
was
the
that long
point. What I'm
ago.
trying to say is like that's how niche. Well, not niche, but kids of oh my camera's just gone weird. But kids of these days probably wouldn't have been watching 6 years ago, if that makes sense. Like
It's true, but also on the other hand, I
Maybe
feel like
I
a
guess that's more
child
for
watching
us.
the show and a guy turns into a Power Ranger, I don't think they
Yeah.
care.
Nah,
It's
okay,
like,
fair.
new Power Ranger suit. What the heck?
Yo!
That's so cool.
Talking about
Then
new
people-
Power Ranger suits, what do we think about Fern being a ranger? Also, the lack of Tarek. Wait, Tarek? Yeah, the lack
Tarek,
of
yeah.
Tarek's
I don't
suit.
like him, so it's fine.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
How dare you?
But
Sorry.
I was expecting him to like transform again, and I was like ready for it,
Yeah.
and there was
It's
nothing.
true.
Also, the fact that Fern. Sorry, I'm going back to Fern. The fact that Fern, through all of the intros, was purple, was dressed in purple, and when she was like throughout the series, she was dressed in purple and orange through the whole time, and you're like, what color is she going to be? And then she ends up being orange. To be honest,
Orange.
I liked it. I liked the reveal of
They
it.
just recolored the
Yeah.
suit as well. In the intro.
Yeah.
I like Fern as Orange though. Like she actually has like an arc. Like they build
Mm.
up.
Mhm.
I like it.
She's trapped in outer space and she wants to help, and Izzy's like, no. And then
Izzy
she
infuriated
just
me
is
through
like,
those
well,
moments.
I don't care, so I'm gonna go and help Solon, and then I'm Solon Ranger. So I thought that was fun. But then the problem is then after that it just drops
Yeah,
off.
she's
Like
just
now
part of
she's
the
just
team.
she's just part of the team,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know what else they would have done with that. Especially since by that point they have to start delving into final battle stuff. But yeah, I agree. It's like I like the build up, so it's not the worst thing ever, but it's like it's just kind of there now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did like her a lot too. But I think there's just a main issue in Super Sentai Power Rangers as a whole. Once someone's arc is done, then they're just kind of there for the rest of the
That's
show.
true, that is-
Like, so
that
it's
is
it's not just a Power Rangers thing. Yeah.
I guess they did it better here because there were only like 3 episodes left, so it wasn't like a huge gap of
Yeah.
time. Like, oh, she's just here now.
They were going
Also, it's
through
nice
the
because she was a
whole-
character before, so
Yeah. After that point in
But-
time from Fern, they got back to Earth eventually, and then they were discussing and trying to sort out the whole Zato losing his power and going back to the morphin grid space. But that was the last couple episodes, and that was what it was leading up to. So there wasn't much space to
yeah.
talk about anything else. They got like
Yeah, that's why it's like I get it. It's just it's
Yeah.
kind of jarring a bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
So she has a back scratcher as her weapon.
Well, actually, it's Solon's claw, Thomas.
Back
It's
scratcher.
not a
Back
back scratcher.
It does kind of look like a back scratcher, but at the same time, I don't care because I really
Yeah,
enjoyed the
it's-
weapon. So
Oh yeah, I don't care. I think it's funny.
it is funny.
Fern did have the best line in the entire series. That Z looks like an N, and that was probably the best scene to me. It was so good.
I have no comment on that. I was just like, okay, sure, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
That joke came up like 3 times though. Like I was done by that
I think
point.
that was the only time. I
No, there
thought.
was another time it came up.
Yeah, there was another time.
It was the ice
Okay.
cubes with
Yeah,
Lord
yeah,
Zed.
the ice cubes.
They were
Yeah,
like,
but I think that was it.
was
I
it
don't
no
even
more?
know what you're talking about.
Okay, there's a one Zed
Yeah.
scene, Lord Zed scene, and the guy Inkworth comes in, and he has a drink for Lord
Inkworth.
Zed, and he gives it to Lord Zed, and he's just like, I asked for these ice cubes to be Z-shaped, but they're N-shaped. And he was just like, oh, but if you tried it sideways, it would be the right way up. And he was like, ah! So
It's funny
like,
too because that's like, I have the power of the Morphin Masters. Look at my raw power. I carve a thing into a wall, which I could
Yeah.
probably do regardless. I feel like he was always capable of that, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Did he really feel more powerful at that point?
oh, because he immediately gets captured by squid people.
Yeah, like if there was like, okay, I love a helmet smash scene. It's just something so like dramatic and great about those moments because then they build up from that defeat. I was like, give us at least one helmet smash with the eye coming out, and then take him away, and then that would have shown the might of Lord Zed. But like, we didn't really feel any power from Lord Zed. Oh no, Emperor Zed was he
Master
called
Zed.
Master Zed, or I can't remember what it was, but it felt like we didn't see that like raw power that he was boasting about. So
Yeah. Apparently, it's because the suit was too fragile.
it looked like it was
So-
ripping at some point. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
If he did a single like punch, everything was coming off.
Is that the original suit from? Like
No, yes, like Power Rangers made that suit.
yeah, but like was that the original set that they used from 20, 30 years ago? It shouldn't have been, right?
There was nothing like this 20, 30 years ago.
No,
Yeah, neither of those suits. They had to
no. What I'm
remake
saying,
them.
like his original body suit.
Yeah, they had to remake it.
They had to
It's
remake it.
different.
Okay, cool. But it still looked like it was ripping slightly.
It looks like more muscular and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think that adds into my point of like the fan servicey parts being a little empty with Zed, especially. Like they brought him back in Dino Fury like seasons prior, but like
So bad in Dino Fury. I don't like it in Dino Fury.
if he just ends up being played by the squid people like that easily when he's like at his most peak evil, you know, like they
Literally.
specifically say this the most evil, and then he's just stuck in a tube and
Second and two.
And then
Also,
the
it's
way
because it's like the squid people aren't really interesting villains before
Yeah.
that. Like I didn't mind them as Zed's henchmen, like financing everything. That was completely fine. The fact then they're
Mhm.
like now they're the big bad guys. It's like, oh, why?
also,
I don't
also
really care.
just like the whole usage of villains in general in the show. They're like specific villains from Sentai shows that we're excited for, that we were like excited to see those villains, and they were treated so badly. Like the 4 villains that were the dance crew in episode
Dance crew.
who knows what.
Who are all 4 of them? I know one's Scorpio and
Yeah,
one's Nadia from
Scorpio.
Zyuohger
Uh-huh.
and Q Ranger. But what are the other 2? I don't even know.
I have no idea who those are from. But did you notice that there
See-
were some villains from Lupat in the show
Yes,
generally?
yeah.
You could
people
tell
running
which
around with
which
staves.
show
That
they're
was really
from.
funny.
You can tell which shows they're from because they've got like the chest or
The saves, yeah.
the saves
They
and stuff.
had like one of the final bosses with like 5 saves on him. It's just a normal guy. I
Yeah,
thought that was really
literally.
funny. See, that stuff like that in Power Rangers, I think is fun. That they're like, it's a sequel to
Mhm.
Ryu Soldier Season, or that's using Q Ranger mechas. One of their mentors is a Zhu Ranger, another one's a Nin Ninja. We brought in a Kyoryuger, and the monsters are from Zyuohger and Lupin Ranger
Mhm.
versus Paddle Ranger. It's like
The
I really
mechs.
want to know Sentai, like Japanese people that just watch Sentai. I want to show them this, and they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to the whole thing where I was like, I think the villains were treated so badly. They were made to look out like absolute idiots. They were made to look
Mhm.
out to be like
Mhm.
absolutely like just pathetic minions, and they were destroyed so quickly. And I was just like, why? Especially
My
like
hot
also
take
with
is-
Squillia. Squillia died
Oh yeah.
in that last time that she was around, and then her mother survived. I think if they killed off the mother and kept Squillia, and Squillia was the one that succeeded, she could have had such a great character development to get revenge for her family. But no, they brought
That's actually a good point.
the mother back, which I think was just such a
Yeah.
poor choice.
And, like, also
didn't-
established the mom doesn't care
Yeah.
about the daughter. So the fact the daughter dies is like, oh,
Yeah, and it's like, oh, the daughter
maybe.
died.
That's actually I didn't think of that, but now I'm upset they didn't do that.
Mhm.
What you said.
Because it could have brought so much more character development for her. Because she was so annoying through the whole thing. She was like, the dancer, streamer, chill vibes, let's go. And I was
Write
just like,
this down because this is my
And
this is my
Heko was her
favorite line of the
boyfriend.
show.
and Heko was a
There's a
boyfriend.
line I don't remember what
That's
the
so weird.
context was. But there's a line where Squillia says, "Lord Zeddy spilled the tea."
Yeah, there were so many
like,
sentences like that.
Okay. I think she said like, "Oh, that's an L" or something, and I was like,
Yeah.
"To be fair, this is how I talk."
I-
So
Right in the middle of this podcast, or like before, I posted a screenshot to Twitter
Uh-huh.
where Fern says Pixar didn't happen,
Yes!
and I feel so old because I remember that like in high school or like kid. I
There's
remember that in
something
like elementary school.
there's something
Yeah.
Fern said. I don't remember what the line is, but there's like a thing she said. It's like a full word, and she shortened it. It wasn't like the Pix thing. It was something like more random. That hit me like a truck because that's how my brother talks. So it's like, what? So
Yeah.
they look. They wrote the dialogue for the teenager characters is not the most inaccurate thing.
But
They're
it feels weird.
Yes.
I won't deny that. But
Yep.
It
it's
was
not-
Squillia
that.
says
Oh no.
something like, "Are they besties?" or something like that, and like
I feel like the
this is
It does. It sounds accurate sometimes, but at other times it's like, I mean, I know you're on Twitter a lot. So is that where this came from?
yeah.
I was really scared that Squillia was gonna call someone a simp.
I was
We were
waiting for
right
it, to be
there.
honest.
She was.
If she did, I wouldn't be
I'm-
surprised. Squillia does actually have a little bit of a comeback when she realized that Heckle is actually the spy. Like she full on like is able to capture him and if capture
But
Heckle.
it's Heckle. It's like, come on.
But he was henshined up. Or he
That's why,
morphed.
yeah. It's like he could beat her. Also, actually, I did want to say one last thing on Heckle.
hmm
He was a spy. He was a Spinosaurus. And he says that in the show. He said that, I was like, oh, maybe they were cooking.
Wait,
Maybe
do you
they were
remember?
onto something.
Do you remember Dewdrip at the beginning?
That's the worst name
Oh,
of
yeah.
all time.
And he's just like,
Just
Dewdrip,
wanna say.
out! And Izzy's like, did your mom give you that name? You should sue. And
Is that name?
Dewdrip. Also, Amelia says after that in that like a big battle afterwards, and she's just like, Dewdrip, more like dude R.I.P. And I went, why? Why? It's like the smack
They-
talk. We all know that Power Ranger smack talk is like just
Yeah.
cheesy as heck, but I was just like, this is too much, man.
There's another line Fern has where she morphs and she's like, "Oh, I'm a ranger now." So I got to start coming up with some quips.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. I was like,
gosh.
yeah, that's a good point.
well,
You do. On
Shout
that.
out to Tabby who made a bingo card for Cosmic Fury, and one of them was like, "This ranger's gonna say this," and I think it was like Amelia's gonna say, "It's hammer time," and she does say that in the
She
show, and it
does.
almost hit me. Like it was like, of course they
You're
said
like,
that, of freaking
oh.
course. I'm not gonna miss the quippy one-liners that aren't even that good or funny.
Yeah. Like I think it was
That was fun.
the band episode at the mine in the miners. I can't remember what the word is, but it was our band episode, and everyone else had a quip that was band or
Mm.
music related, and one person didn't. And it really pissed me off. It was like, it was hammer time. This is a jam, or we're jamming out, or something from Harvey. And I think Ion just doesn't say anything
It
that's
was
music
probably Ion.
related.
Zion
And
has no musical talent.
He's a chef, though. He cooking.
Wasn't one of them in the band scene? Wasn't one of them using like a power saw? Like,
Yeah, that was
hers?
Ion. That was
Oh
Ion.
yeah.
Exactly. See.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's actually my favorite episode. Like I love it unironically. I do. It's really fun. But as a musician,
pretty fun.
I was also kind of nitpicking it. Like how do they practice it? How do they know their lines so well? Like is only one of them musically talented? Like how do they get a whole song to learn this fast? Or two
Yeah.
of them? Like to me it's silly, but it's also just a lot of fun, and I liked it a lot. Yeah.
Can we talk about Evil Ollie? Can we talk about
Like,
Evil
do it in the
Ollie?
show?
Ollie
Like-
the goat. Ollie the goat.
There was some times in that when I was watching, I was like, whoa, okay. Hello. But
They
that's
should
for
have
another
casted him
time.
as a villain. I don't know what they were doing. They should have made him Void Knight.
He was
The original
so
Dagger.
True.
The show
good.
would have been a million
He,
times
he
better.
was like hamming it up so much it wrapped around to being like the most realistic or best acting in Power Rangers. So like it's like a whole circle. He's super hammy, but then he's like super good at the hamminess of
Mhm.
being evil, and I just loved it for that. And his suit
Some of it's
also, like the best suit in.
Mwah.
wood.
I
Mwah.
The suit is
actually. How was it?
so hot.
It is.
Look, honestly, before this, I
Thomas?
didn't understand how Amelia and Ollie got in a relationship. But after
Mm.
seeing that arc Dino Fury Ranger, get it. You know,
I think it's
I like
the
this.
I'm pretty sure it's like leather for his main like body armor suit for
It's
Ollie's
like the
evil
normal
Ollie.
foam. Yeah,
The foam? Oh wow, it looked like
I think
leather
it's
to me, but like
foam.
that foam, they should have
That
used that foam
foam.
as bigger armor for
The
the
rest
rest
of
of the
them.
suits.
That's what's so baffling.
Yeah.
It's like they cooked that up. And then he
And
has to
then-
switch to the Dino Fury one. And he even says like, "Oh, I always love a good upgrade." And it's like you went down. All the way down. That's not
had-
an upgrade.
Yeah.
He has less armor than he had before.
Yeah. Like I paused like just to look at it, and it's like even like the arm guards are like new. They didn't just paint the Ryu Soldier ones black or just give him the normal ones. Like they made new pieces. The helmet is completely new because they had to add the
So
pieces.
nice.
The whole thing is new. Like
Mhm.
what happened? I guess it's because they weren't planning to make a toy of that, so they just let the designers actually
Have
design.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Oh,
I
no.
just say also justice for evil Ollie? Because he was given the terrible team which made him fail his missions. Halfway through the episode of them finding Zato, I was literally like, oh my god, please, for the love of God, let Ollie have a break as a villain. Let him do something good as a villain. Every single battle, he failed. He had to go back to Zed. And there was this odd sense of like them becoming like close. No, not like romantically, but like
Mhm.
almost like a mentor.
Yeah.
And I was just like, why do I want this? Why is this what I'm rooting for? And there were several times when I was
You're-
watching the episode where I was
You're
just like,
this close
yes,
to Zed calling him his son.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah,
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
right there. It's just because Zed hates everyone. He was at his
The-
most evilest, so he wouldn't have acknowledged anyone as his child.
But
He was right
evil
there.
Ollie, God, justice for
I
evil
think
Ollie.
the moment that cemented me, you know what? I'm gonna have a dash reviews. The moment that changed Power Rangers Cosmic Fury
I'll let him know that.
was the scene with evil Ollie talking to his mom, and then the last line he says, "Love you, Mama Bear," and then he like that was like the best moment of the show. He's so good. That was so good. That was
It was so unashamedly evil. It
I
was
know.
perfect.
mhm.
That moment, I was like, put my jaw back up, please.
Also, too, when he finds out Amelia's red and he's just really upset about
The
it. He's like,
jealousy. The
Bro,
jealousy.
your suit is better. I don't know why you're complaining.
I really enjoyed the rivalry between the two teams because of that relationship. Because oh my god, she was so like, I miss him all the time. And he's just like, I'm over you. And it was that rivalry through the whole thing. I was just like, I love that those two, okay, just because at the beginning, those two were so by each other's side. They were like, you are a genius. I will do exactly what you said because we're good teammates. We can do this together. And then throughout the rest of the show, Amelia has to work out how to fight against him. And that fight on that when they on the planet that they find Zato up, and that first initial battle was so powerful, and it was just Dark Blue Ranger, and yeah, it's Oh my god, it's villains to
How dare you.
friends to it's villains to lovers. I love that trope.
Sure.
Love a good villains to enemies to lovers.
My one complaint is his redemption was just let's blow up the statue. That was it. I feel like it was a bit cheap,
Yeah.
but also like they made him so evil. It was like can't really do anything else. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
Ollie, snap out of it. That you tried that like 10 times.
Yeah.
Not happen.
I almost want I like through the beginning I was just like, "Oh my god, he's pretending to be evil. That's why he asked for his statue to stay put up so he could protect them from the behind the scenes." And then it never happened, and then it kind of happened at the when the statue did break. But I
Yeah.
kind of wish that like he almost did continue on that side just cuz evil
Yeah, I mean,
Ollie
yeah,
man was just
if they broke it
the
and
best
then maybe
part.
he stayed evil and then he's like, maybe not. Like if the spell was broken and then the connection wavered, it would have been better. But also too, it adds this weird context to the episode 2 where if Zed did destroy the statue like he was planning to, Ollie wouldn't be evil.
true. I think like just in Zed's mind,
Ollie
he's just
kept
in.
himself evil. It's weird.
That's a good point. Maybe there's a
I
sense of
don't-
him that actually wanted to be evil. Because
Yeah, I don't know how to interpret that at all, but it's just kind of interesting. It's like,
I did wonder why they made him
Okay.
evil though. Like, why did they choose Blue specifically?
I guess because he was. Oh, they
He was
said
evil before.
It was
was,
evil in
wasn't he?
Dino Fury from Zed. Like the goo Zed
Oh,
splats him with happened in Dino Fury, like an episode.
oh, that's the
So-
context. I knew he was
In
evil, but I
Dino-
didn't know why.
In Cosmic Fury, it's literally just
It's just
I
a
like him as
repeat.
my henchman, so I'll just do it again. But like it was an episode in Dino Fury, and he didn't really do anything. So it's
Okay.
like this feels like a better version of that, like 100%,
Yeah.
because he's like actually getting to be evil.
Be evil.
Dino Fury was just a cheap thing. So like yeah, like it was rumored he was gonna be evil. So I thought the same thing. Like when the rumors were out, I'm like, feels a bit weird. We already did that, but they do it so much better and differently here. I don't really.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Totally
Also,
agree.
too, apparently because Lee's actor, they didn't know if they would get him available for most of the season. So their plan was to make him evil
Oh.
and then just keep him in the suit, and then they could just do
Oh, that makes so much
whenever.
more sense. Like the fact that they couldn't get Amelia's mum back, so they had to CGI her face in to a picture.
Was she CG'd face?
You can look back and it looks so obviously CGI'd. Like, Tarek is there with the baby, and then she's just kind of like leaning in, and the face is like different quality slightly to the rest of the picture.
Yeah.
So you just
So-
kind of look at it and you're like, oh, okay.
Alia's not getting off to a great start as a sister. She missed her
Yeah.
sister's birth to be at Javi's concert. I feel like Javi would not have minded if she left
Yeah.
with her sister. Ollie's pretty chill.
What do you
Javi,
think of the
Ollie,
whole
Javi.
Harvey losing an arm thing?
Ow.
That's enough.
I
We don't
liked
have to
it.
say anything else. Just that. Great. Cool. Moving on.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yep.
I killed Keza.
Yep.
You did. That was perfect. Like, honestly, yeah. Ow.
No,
I was
no.
gonna say about the fact that that's like inclusion in the cast of the Power Rangers, and that's great. But no, it's fine.
It is
Daytime?
12 in the afternoon, and I have a hungry man in the fridge that I want to have. So how about we go with our
ham.
hungry man? It's I don't know if you have this in the UK British people where all you eat is beans on toast. But
Beans
it's
on
like
toast.
Excuse me, we have a lot more than just beans on toast.
it's like a box with like like here it is. Thank you, wife.
Oh, hi.
And I really want to have this hungry
Okay,
man. But
I see.
you see, Cosmic Fury is actually a lot like this hungry man here. You
Oh.
have like the chicken and the mashed potatoes, and you also have like the vegetables. And over here, this dark spot, that's the dessert. That's the brownie. So Cosmic Fury is a lot like the Zords and the characters.
Just cut to
Where
you
can I-
talking about the Hungry Man
Yeah,
as Cosmic Fury. We don't need any other context. We just
that's a clip right there.
And it all has 28 grams of protein.
And also hundreds of
And-
fans who want to devour every inch of it just to put their own thought onto the internet about it.
So it was a Hasbro board decision to make Cosmic Fury 10 episodes only. Cosmic Fury had
Right.
2 months of filming. Netflix was willing to do a 20-episode season. So Hasbro
Ooh.
meddling, which will become a continuing thread throughout all of this.
Does not bode
um,
well for the rest of the future.
All of this comes from Pookie himself.
Okay.
These
The
are words that
Pook
left his
Master.
mouth. Some things about Once and Always here. I think I'll skip that since we're talking about Cosmic Fury. Cosmic Fury suit designs, all of them were made, like the new ones, were made as a collaboration with Hasbro and Toei. Original designs had more texture and shapes, as we know. They dumb things down for toys.
Mhm.
Ryu Soldier stuff was returned to Toei after making molds. Hasbro stuff is trashed or with Hasbro. Apparently, the Hasbro has the Squid Girls for whatever purpose.
Oh, okay.
Something
was
about
new,
the
wasn't
Ghost
it?
Ranger helmet was red. Yeah, those were original
Okay.
villains, so that's why they have them.
Mhm.
Yeah, they just kept the Ghost Ranger head or something. A Dark Ranger helmet or Dark Ranger suit was not available for Dino Charge. That's why they wanted it in Cosmic Fury to pay that back.
Mm.
The lines on the helmet are different because Simon said that's the helmet that Toei gave them, and then in this thing, he said that Toei didn't want them to change the helmet. So they just ended up with a weird F-Ryuger Kyoryu Navy hybrid.
Mhm.
Okay.
I liked
Okay.
it though. I thought it was a
Hmm.
cool combination of the
I don't really
suits.
mind it. I just think it's kind of funny. As I said, comics are not incorporated.
Whoa.
It was a Hasbro decision to not make Zato a White Ranger for Cosmic Fury because they were afraid of it being offensive.
Yeah.
No, anyways,
I think that
Zed
we're not the
and
right
joke.
people to comment on that.
yeah, I don't.
Like,
all-
I
all
don't
I'll
think
say-
I can comment on it. So.
Yeah, all I'll say is Haley Black and was a White Ranger a few seasons ago. The Lord Zed ZN joke was inside joke with Hasbro, and it's in the show.
Cool.
Never tried to get Zordon back. There were more Fern Izzy story. There's more story for them in the 20-episode version. Apparently, there was a plot point where Fern would break up with Izzy for being too overprotective.
I was expecting that to
Heard-
happen, to be honest.
Yeah. Fern was turned into a ranger because I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Good. Hasbro wanted to maintain the dinosaur theme for Cosmic Fury because it sells toys. This tweet has 50 quote retweets.
Oh god.
Um,
Oh god.
and you can imagine why that is because
Yep.
those dinosaur toys. There's only one of them. Here's the thing with the Zed Master Suit was never drafted to be a fight because it would have exploded. They said they bent continuity, having Zed end up with Rita because if he's supposed to be at his most evilest, he would not have been engaged or married to Rita.
Okay.
Ended up happening. Here's the thing. Ollie was chosen to be a villain due to his actor potentially having other commitments. Had he not been available, he could be a suited only character and the actor would provide ADR from the United States. Um, that shot that leaked a while ago with him putting on sunglasses was just a camera test. Which I
Yeah.
would have liked to know beforehand. Because every time he was in a warehouse, I was waiting for him to put on sunglasses.
I was gonna say we didn't see
So-
that shot, did we?
Yeah, I was like, every time he was like in a base or something, I'm like,
Is
sunglasses.
this it?
Nope, did not happen. The combiner cannon wasn't designed to come apart from the outset, which probably obvious when you look at it. Then the CG combination was like a third-party thing. Ninjor was originally supposed to come back, but they chose Mick instead. Mick has more fight footage, but it was cut. There's some... This I find interesting. They said Ion was a 6th Ranger due to Sentai footage, but narratively he's more of a standard member. They don't really care about the 6th Ranger trope, which is kind of interesting because that's definitely how it feels in the show, but it's weird visually because he has all the different equipment. And then in Cosmic Fury, he has a line when he gets the Morpher, and he's like, "Oh, I'm like you guys
I
now."
look like you guys now. Yeah.
It's true. Intro of the Morphin Masters was Chip Lin's idea, and Hasbro approved it. However, by having all-powerful beings, they realized this disempowers previous Power Ranger teams. They were taken off the table at the start of Cosmic Fury. I think they should have been taken off the table at the start of Dino Fury. That's another discussion. This is my favorite thing. Toei was clearing out their warehouses and sent a spreadsheet with photos of monster suits they were throwing away to Hasbro Production. Production kindly took the offer for these suits. So, the reason the monster selection is so random is literally
that
because
way.
Toei was
Wow.
like, "Do you want our leftovers?"
I want one of the leftover villains. Give me
So
one.
that's-
I'll cosplay as
That's
them.
really funny. I love that. That's so funny. I love that collaboration. Toei's just like,
Here.
"You're throwing this away. We know you're still making stuff. Do you want it? You can have it. We don't need it."
To be honest, I wasn't too annoyed at the end about the variety of the villains. I think it was just nice for Sentai fans to see them again. So
Yeah. They wanted to keep the suits for Heckle, Billy, and Mick since they are iconic to those characters, which is why they didn't get Cosmic Fury powers. I didn't think they would get Cosmic Fury powers, and I think people would have been upset if Dark Ranger came back and then turned into the Cosmic Fury suit.
I would have been upset.
So I would have been upset too. They also already did that in Beyond the Grid. So, in-house Cosmic Fury was Dino Fury 3. We already knew that. Ninjor was the only character that changed during development. No other characters were considered. They confirmed that Min is the Yellow Ranger behind Billy in the Megazord.
I had a feeling.
JJ would have potentially been in Cosmic Fury if it was a once and always continuation, but they wanted them to be separate. There's a lesbian writer in the room for Fern, Izzy. Apparently Javi's situation with his arm, because of like mandates or something, they couldn't have characters have a visceral reaction to it. That's why he's just kind of like everyone is like they couldn't have anyone like cry or something
Because it's a Power Ranger show.
Yeah, Simon
Ooh.
would have liked gay, male, non-binary, plus size, autistic, etc. Rangers. Cosmic Fury team was 3 people writing. Hasbro was 100% supportive of the Fern Izzy lesbian relationship. It's nice to know they are not completely incompetent.
Oh gosh.
Production wanted Zato. See, this is the weird thing. Production wanted Zato to be a new color, but Hasbro didn't want him to be a White Ranger. They pitched titanium. Hasbro also said no.
Why
So then they
not?
picked the champagne color.
Champagne.
And Hasbro was like, sure, that's fine. And Hasbro also gave the name Titanium. Or sorry, Zenith. They just gave it a different name regardless. So it's like, why couldn't you have let him be a White or Titanium Ranger?
Yeah.
If he was
True.
Titanium, that would have been nice because Ion is gold. You know?
Yeah, oh my
Mhm.
god, the bros being gold and silver together. Excuse me? Why? Oh my god. They need to hire us as writers. I'm just.
Mm.
Oh
If someone
no.
invites Simon to PMC and can fund a ticket, he will happily visit.
Wait, what? Say that again?
Someone invites Simon to Power Morphicon and pays for his ticket, he'll go.
Oh my god.
The rest of this is just kind of people asking
Okay, fair.
questions to Simon. Or like Simon questions himself. Nothing's about Dino Fury. There's also some other things in here I skipped over because they weren't Cosmic Fury, but like
That's fine.
one that stands out a bit is Hasbro was not upset. They thought Robo Rita was culturally appropriating Japanese culture. Because the suit comes from Japan. Don't know.
A lot of the suits come from Japan.
I don't know what the logic there is. They took Rita Repulsa, they put a robot mask on her, and Hasbro was like, they thought it was like insensitive. It's like, guys, came from Japan.
Oh my god.
It's
Maybe
not-
they are
they
incompetent,
didn't
Thomas.
design that.
Thomas.
So yeah,
they're
reading some of
incompetent.
this
Ah.
is I feel like a lot of the blame for things with Power Rangers in general recently seems like it is a Hasbro thing, because Netflix wanted 20 episodes. Hasbro wanted 10.
Hasbro, what you doing?
As we know, the designs were Hasbro like mandates. They clearly are capable of creating better suits.
With the not the octopus, the squid people. They did it.
Oh no, like Ollie's
Oh yeah.
Ranger suit.
Oh,
They
yeah,
clearly
of
can
course,
make
yeah.
a good Ranger suit, but Hasbro's like, we need to make toys, and then they didn't make the toys.
Hasbro. Why aren't we having a go at Hasbro enough? This is.
Because we didn't really know until now that like how much of this was I mean, other than the suits, didn't really know how much of this was Hasbro going.
Anyway.
This, do that. You can't do this.
Yeah.
Especially the Zato thing. The Zato thing is kind of crazy. Like, yes, the writing in the show probably wasn't a Hasbro thing. That's kind of weird. He just disappears for like 5 episodes. But also the suit sucks. And that was Hasbro. They didn't let him be just a normal White Ranger suit. So.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all Hasbro's fault then. I think we can leave
Does
it
seem
there.
like it's all Hasbro's fault.
Hasbro. Anyway.
No power. Tomkatsu red.
Chicken no power. Yellow. Tomkatsu yellow.
Frog no power. Tomkatsu green. Tomkatsu. Thomas, you're the Red Ranger.
No, next time I need to go.
We will build this up to be an actual full-on henshin thing, and it'll be cool.
Sure, when we get guests on, they have to join in.
At PMC, we'll do it in person.
Yes! I hope so. I think he needs to have his hungry man. Hungry man.
Bye, Craig.
Bye!